Hey guys, welcome to a brand new video to the channel. Today is Saturday, which means Marketwatch. Big apologies for the lack of videos this week. Again, I've mentioned it a couple of times now. Work, trying to move house, all of that is kicking me hard at the minute. So I am struggling for time to record videos, but I'm hoping this weekend, I've got a free weekend, to get ahead and get enough out for you guys for next week. But again, big apology for this week in terms of the lack of content. I'm going to do an update video to sort of go over what's been happening, what the plans are for the future as well, which I'll release for you guys some point in midweek to go and have a bit of a look at as well. But I just want to say to you guys, thank you so much for the support anyway. You guys really do hammer it out of the park every time I drop a video in a minute. And the reason I'm trying to push as many videos out is because I know you guys jump on them and enjoy them as well. However, we're not here for that. We are here for one thing and one thing only. Marketwatch is for today. So in terms of the date this week, we do have the quest release, also more teasers towards the brand new Mascot boss coming to the game. So basically it's based on all of the sort of desert storyline. So the 28th, Monday, is going to be the Eclipse of the Heart, the conclusion of the desert storyline, which is actually going to be quite a massive thing. And actually, Knight in Necromancy is a quest requirement. Basically means this is going to be pretty much end game. So yeah, nice little post on the homepage going through what's basically happening in the desert, the storylines of the desert as well, which is a really nice little sort of way to show just how big of a sort of part of the game the desert is. Goes under the radar quite a bit because it's basically forgotten about. Really, I don't think people paid attention to the desert since Desert Treasure or the Curses were released. But it's going to be quite nice to actually have one of the big quest storylines finally finished. And hopefully for the next couple of years coming up, it's more of that sort of same sweeping and finishing the storylines to get things ticked off and finished and then brand new things brought into the game off the back of that. However, I am rambling. We are not here for that. We are here for the price rises and price falls this week for Marketwatch in Runescape 3. So starting off, Starbloom Flowers, 19.6k, still very under the price, I believe. Again, not checked for Grand Exchange lately, but Starbloom Flowers, cloth, thread, and the actual flower itself and seed are still very much under the price. Anything to do with that or the new crafting supplies, just check your margins to make sure you are where you need to be. We have Flesh Runes with a massive jump up this week, 33%, as well as Miasma Runes 20% and Bone Runes 15%. Now, I can only imagine this is due to the Necromancy requirement we've just seen in that quest storyline. I do think that the Mascot is going to end up being a Necromancy boss, which means things like the Necromancy runes, like we mentioned last week, I just don't think the sheer amount of volume required is going to be in the game. So because of that, I think Necromancy runes is going to have a second big phase of this is just going to be so much profit. Not that it will sort of push that on the early game, but I think Necromancy rune crafting might touch the profit or near the profit of what you could make PVMing. Maybe not so much a Mascot, but all the other PVMing, you could sort of pull that if Necromancy runes do go to a price, which they seem to be going to very, very up in price. Grimy Heartland at 2.5k, Starbloom Cloth 33.9, again, check your prices for that. Miasma Runes, following Flesh Runes at 7.11 for that. Auric Alchem Stone Spirit 298, Bone Runes at 612. So again, with the Necromancy runes, check your multipliers, check what rune crafting level you got, check what's best. Make sure to be using Power Burst, Sorcery, and all the bonuses you can have to get as much Necromancy runes as possible. But again, could be a very good time to be rune crafting once again for Necromancy runes because it does seem to be heavily up in price. Helix Bolt Tips 7.5k, Adamant Bolts 85 GP each. Because of the surge in price for Necromancy runes, Impure Essence is 224. So you might actually be able to make some profit with Impure Essence and making the rituals to make the Impure Essence as well. Depending on multipliers, your levels and stuff, you'll need to work it out. The way I kind of work out a ritual at the minute is to basically do one, work out how many Impure Essence you're getting and working out how much you're using of each ink and stuff, and you can see where you are. The wiki does have a calculator for it as well, so that is also a very good thing to be using. A Cut Jade 3.1k, Huge Plated Mithril Salvage 8.5, Serenic Scales 55.6. That is a bit of a comeback, you know, considering how down they were. They are still down at the minute, they definitely are coming up in price. Summer Down Wool 16.8k each, Bucket of Milk 488, Blood Runes 560, Grimy Marrentills 7.1k. Getting to a point where Grimy Marrentills could quite easily be the best normal herb to farm. I don't think there's many above 7k each, so really wild to see that kind of price there. We have Onyx Bolt Tips 7.7k each, which is crazy to see that price. That is a price where they won't be profitable to make the bolts. And they've been hovering up over the past couple of months anyway. I remember making bolts where I was buying them for like 6.1k each, but to see them at 7.8 is crazy, and I don't quite know why. If there's been an update to Onyx bolts, or whether the Onyx bolts is going to be used for the PVM inside, who knows, but that is a crazy price. And for the first time in a long time, fletching bolts won't be profit, so crazy to see that kind of price. Wyvern bones 5.7k each, regular ghostly ink 8.3, powder penance 1.2 mil. This is 100% one to keep an eye out during the Masket boss. You could make a lot of money with Dazzling Wily gigs if the price of the roses is not incredibly expensive. Rune Dart 63 GP each, Ashes 1.4, Clean Harlander 2.9, and this is what a big update does. Because the demand on necromancy runes are there, people then need things like inks to then do the rituals to get the impure essence, and because of that, things like ashes go up in price. It's all that effect. It's a shockwave which goes through all the different supplies, and once one item, the necromancy runes, is massively up in price, all the other items will follow. Magic Notepaper 661. This could actually be something due to the lack of treasure hunter at the minute, so that's really interesting to see that. Enemy Wildcard 57.2. A Ripper Demon is 26.5. The Curse Ashes 241 GP each, and the Golden Roses 1.6. With the powder at 1.2, yes, the roses are very expensive. Do your roses runs every day because you can make bank. Definitely one to keep out on, and if you're one who wants to do a bit of hunter, definitely a method to go and look at as well. We have Cannonballs on the way back up, 1.4k. I did do this on the main account where I stocked up quite heavily when they got a bit cheaper. I thought that when they were about 1.1 to 1.2k, Cannonballs are just too cheap, so you have to invest, in my opinion. Ghostly Essence 3.9k, that's coming back up as well. Nice to see that get a bit stronger in price. Quam Incense Sticks 24.1, one of the best ones to do incense sticks wise. Always seems to sell very well, always seems to be a decent price. Acadia Logs 1.8k each, Super Restore Flasks 21.1, Powerful Necroplasm 602. Manuscripts of Wen 181k each, a Shark is 404, Extreme Defense 16.9k, very good time in my opinion. And I think now is a very good time to go and do some overloads as well. Medium Bladed Adamant Salvage 5.8k each, Brilliant Energy 169, Silver Bolts 45 GP each, and Astral Runes 527. These got a bit too cheap as well. Same with Cosmics. I think because they had the extra multiplier, they're always going to go down. Just trying to find their price again to go back up. Key for Crossing 524, Dwarf WC 2.4k, a Charge Bow is 215, Toadflax Potion 6,000 coins each, and a really good use of your machines at the minute. If you have any Toadflax in your bank, turn these into unfinished potions. We have Bowstrings 742, a Super Attack 4 dose 5.5k, Soft Clay 1.2, Staff of Water 2.2, Nature Runes 475, again similar to Astral Runes in my opinion, too cheap. Tin Ore 833, a Spring 2.2k, Necronium Bar going up 9.8k each there, and a Winter Wood Wool 16.1. Onyx Bolts E going up in price 7.3k, which kind of I think will be the reason that the Onyx Bolt tips have gone high. They've just gone way above what I've seen them for a very long time, so yeah, maybe they're going to be using PVM, same with the Hydrix, but again, this is a very good week for the price rises. A lot of money making methods, a lot of supplies, a lot of processing stuff. Necromancy Runecrafting is going to blow all the methods out of the water in terms of skilling, but there's a lot of items here which are hinting to people stocking up for a Masket. Really good time to focus on these items. If you can make them, process them, and sell them on the Grand Exchange for profit, do it now. There's inks, there's herb supplies, rune crafting supplies, item supplies you can go and gather as well. Really good time to get involved. So that's the kind of price rises we want to see every week, because it gives you infinite possibilities to look at different stuff, try and find margins, try and make profits as well. Now, we're going to go through price falls. As always, we're going to skip all the summer cosmetics, which are absolutely destroying the price falls for the next couple of weeks. But we have a Willow Comfort Bow, which I think is a Fortunate. I can't remember, but 767k is very cheap for a Fortunate component. We have Green Dragonhide Chaps, 3.2k. Raw Rock Tails on the way back down to a 924. And Eternal Wood Spirits, 7.9k. Never made sense why there was so much anyway. Adamant Longsword, 8.3k. This is because of the beach and the clue scrolls from the beach, but an Adamant Longsword is pretty decent components. So if you're looking for some cheap components, Addy Longsword could be pretty good. Spirit Rune on the way down, which is a bit weird compared to where the other runes are going. So maybe the Spirit Rune's a bit delayed in like following up. But again, the Spirit Runes were going up for a little while beforehand as well. Dragon Hatchet 50.1k, Standard Plank 239, Meerkat Pouches 117.2k, and we have Swamp Tar at 261. Bronze Bar 1.9k each, very cheap there. Ascension Bolt 2.4. This is going down. The high reduced bolt is going up, so it's kind of like balancing out where the current price is between the two. Absol Creature Wildcard at 71.9k, we have Super Energy 6.9, Green Dragonhide Body 4,000 coins each, and a Zerosian Insignia 5.3. Blood Necklace Shard 1.5 mil, rip, like these, to see those down so bad hurts. I got so many blood shards at around 20 to 40 mil, but to see it 1.5 is just sad. Runic Tuna 89.6 mil, Platinum Stone Spirits as well 9.9, 4-dose Sorrow Brew 10k each, which in my opinion could be one to look into to buy. Like, you could decant these quite easily to a 3-dose, and then they're available for people to make a Sorrow Diamond Super Brew. Keep an eye on that, because that is a very, very good price there, especially with a boss coming very, very soon. Iron Bar 2.3k each, we have Sapphire 388, Ruby 461, Runitor 3.2k each, and a Guffix and Sorrow Cloak on the way down towards about 1 mil. There's a few fortunate components on the way down, so whether something's been changed there or whether the fortunates just aren't in demand, it can be a good time to get some cheap fortunates if you are after it as well. Krishnes 370 GP each, and then finally a Mammoth Tusk 23k. Price falls this week, again, very similar to last week, a little bit dead. Again, the cosmetics from the beach really do sort of hammer the prices here because they're going down so much. There's a few things to keep an eye out though, as always. Fortunate components seem to be very cheap and almost crashing. Spirit Rune, that could be going up because the other runes are going up as well. There's Ascension Bolts if you're looking at Fletching, but again, Fletching seems to be very expensive with those bolted prices. There's Sorrow Brews, again, I think that's a standout item this week. This could be something which seriously goes up over the next couple of weeks, depending on how good a Amaska is and how good the drops are as well. People will be buying PVM supplies for the next couple of weeks, and especially on August 4th when the PVM boss is released. That's when we could see massive spikes, and depending on what the drops are like when they get released, depending on what happens with that, we might do a Marketwatch special where we do it midweek just to focus on changes in price and stuff like that. But yeah, so wrapping up Marketwatch this week on another Saturday. Sorry for that, and sorry for lack of videos this week. Hopefully back to normal next week, but we've got a couple of busy weeks moving house as well. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, any things you're investing in at the minute, drop them in the comments below and we can have a little bit of discussion as always. Thank you guys once again. I'll see you guys very soon in the next video.